Action in La Liga on Monday. Atletico Madrid could only manage a 2-2 draw at home against Celta Vigo, a late equaliser for Celta, meaning that Atleti 8 points clear then at the top of the table, still with another game in hand over Barca and Real Madrid. Let's welcome Ali Moreno to the show. Ali, I tweeted yesterday it was all over in Spain. Will Atleti make a fool of me?
No, you do a good enough job of that yourself, Dan. No, I don't think you made a fool of yourself. I think this is still a long way for Barcelona and Real Madrid to climb back into this race. However, Atletico Madrid would be disappointed with the way that the game went today. And I think there are a couple of things that will jump out to Diego Simeone, and that is the goals that Celta Vigo score are very unlike Atletico Madrid to give away. Runs in behind, crosses into the box, and then open finishes 3 yards out. That's not what you would expect from Atletico Madrid team. Diego Simeone made changes at halftime, made an adjustment in terms of the formation because his team was getting exposed on those spaces. Nolito and Iago Aspas were creating problems, and it seemed to work. Luis Suarez scores goals, and I suppose that we should be used to this by now with Atletico Madrid. We should not be surprised. The guy continues to be amazing for Atletico Madrid, and you thought, okay, that's it, 2-1. Yet another game in which Atletico Madrid are going to win. And yet they give up a late equalizer. And that's not something Atletico Madrid does very often. But if you go back in the last 3 games that they have played in La Liga, they gave up goals to Eibar, they gave up goals to Valencia, they gave up 2 goals to Cádiz. This is something that's becoming a little bit of a pattern for Atletico Madrid. They give up goals, they've done enough in those games to come back. Not so today. Just not good enough defending in the end for Atletico Madrid.
If I asked you at the start of the season, Ali, how many goals Luis Suarez would get, I reckon maybe 15. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, maybe 15 is where you're at. I don't want you to put words in your mouth. However, he's already at 16 this campaign, which I think has exceeded everyone's expectations, hasn't it?
And some reports suggest that it triggers actually a bonus in his contract and a pay raise, if you will. As Luis Suarez, of course, needed a pay raise. The truth of the matter is, you look at Luis Suarez and he is so critical to the success of Atletico Madrid, and that's an understatement. When you consider where the goals are going to come from and how this team is playing, today in particular, where they were hit with some COVID situation and Joao Felix was not available, and Yannick Ferreira Carrasco just coming back from COVID, and Thomas Lemar not available either. And so you see some limitations in the attack, but the 2 goals he scores today are so Luis Suarez. They're sort of the image that you have of him as a player and poaching goals inside the 18-yard box, and his movement that is not as good as it once was. He's not as quick as he once was, but he can read the game so well and puts himself in positions where he's going to finish and continues down this path that we continue to update game after game after game. 22 shots on goal, 16 goals scored. That is just a ridiculous rate. I mean, even at his best, Luis Suarez was not having this sort of effectiveness and efficiency. When he was scoring goals for Barcelona, when he was scoring goals for Liverpool, it wasn't at this rate. He's just become so efficient and so effective in front of goal, and they need that because every goal that he scores becomes an important goal for Atletico Madrid because there aren't goals coming on from anybody else, and so therefore his goals are not only important to him, but they're critical to the success of the team.
Here's the issue with that. 34 years of age is Luis Suarez, and Atleti's schedules are going to get ramped up, isn't it? Knocked out of the Copa del Rey early, good. Forget about that, have a little bit of a rest between games. But then it's Chelsea in the Champions League, and that focus will just continue to intensify on Atleti. And of course, with Luis Suarez, Simeone's going to have to be clever, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And how do you rotate?
Yeah.
What exactly do you do? Do you rotate around Luis Suarez? Do you shorten his minutes? But if you're a goal scorer and you're on the sort of run that he's on, the last thing you want to do is sit down and watch somebody else play. You want to keep it going. You want to keep the momentum. And yet that's a decision that Simeone is going to have to see and figure out. That's why losing points today is so important for Atletico Madrid, because if you had a 10-point lead and you felt more comfortable about what your position is in front of Barcelona and Real Madrid, then yeah, you know what? You give a day off to Luis Suarez. Even if he doesn't want to, you just tell him, Luis, today is not the day for you, buddy. You're just gonna sit there and enjoy. Now, well, you know, it just unsettles the decision-making process a little bit. You're not nearly as comfortable as you once were, and even though it's just 2 points, and I still think it's too much of a distance for Barcelona and Real Madrid to make up, you still sit back if you're Diego Simeone and you say, you know what, I don't trust anybody else here to score a goal, and so therefore, he's going to stay out there until we secure this title, until we put ourselves in a position where we really feel comfortable. And of course, I look at Atletico Madrid, of course they have the inside track, of course they are the favorites, of course they should win this, but today may just put things into doubt.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.